Nerid Avenue at the corner of Nerid and Wickham Avenues in the Bronx. Across from the original Cool Runnings restaurant. We're open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. We specialize in the best authentic vegetarian dishes, which contain no animal byproducts. Our menu includes Ito stew, tofu, veggie chunks, and our exclusive in-house vegetarian patties. For our full menu, you can visit our website at crvgbronx.com or you can give us a call at 929-265-3392. We are also available on Uber Eats for your convenience. Stop by and remember, at Kuda Runnings Vegetarian Grill, customer service is our #1 priority.
Welcome to Voices with the Lady D, where every voice has power. I'm your host, Lady D Denise Gomez Green, inviting you to join me each week for real conversations, powerful stories, and uplifting perspectives that shine a light on voices from the community and the diaspora. Kick off your week with the Monday Drive from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dive deep on Thursdays with Center Stage from 6 to 8 p.m. and ease into your weekend with Saturday morning runnings every Saturday at 10 a.m. Catch Voices with the Lady D on YouTube, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network online and YouTube, and Fit FM 96.7 in Stuart Castle, Trelawney, Jamaica, or tune in on Linkage Radio online. So lock in, turn it up, and remember, every voice has power. This is Voices with Lady D. Hey Trelawney, it's Lady D, reaching you straight from New York with love. Catch me every week on Fit FM 96.7 in Stuart Castle, Duncan's, Trelawney, Jamaica. It's Voices with the Lady D on Linkage Radio, streaming live on YouTube. Join me Monday for the Monday Drive from 5 to 7 p.m. and Friday for Center Stage from 5 to 7 p.m. And me just want know, who under the mango tree with them iPhone, iPad, and transistor radio? Because trust me, you can't afford to miss the show. Music, vibes, and real talk every time. Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power. Stay locked in. Trelawney, me love you no bad.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food. Minister Patrick Tyson and Brother Claver Schrouter, in collaboration with Sister Lemuel Hunt, presents A Taste of Heaven on Earth Part 2 on Saturday, September 13th, 2025, to be held at the Bronxwood International Church of God, located at 3232 Lurton Avenue in the Bronx. Featuring Minister Judith Gale, Minister O'Shane Mays from out of Jamaica, Minister Claver Schrouter, Minister Dwight Schrouter, Brother Tajay Nichols, aka Singer Wayne, and Sister Shakira. Tickets adults $40, children $25. Doors open at 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. sharp. Your MCs for the evening will be yours truly, Minister Patrick Tyson and Lady D. A part of the proceeds from this event will go to Bronxwood International Church of God Carpet Project. This event is sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant. For tickets and more information, you can contact Minister Tyson at 347-961-6785 or Minister Claver Schrouter at 914-336-0623.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I'm ready. It's Thursday. Good evening, everyone. Are you ready for center stage? Welcome to Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power. Brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. How are you? How una do? How una doing? You know we're the heartbeat, right? Yes. Of connecting you to me. Want to say hi to everyone tuning in. I'm your host, Denise Gomez Green, aka Lady D. You know, we unite, we connect. Yes, man, which includes talking. And we've been talking, haven't we? I mean, talking up a storm. We're good. It's just a wonderful day. And, you know, I'm feeling so grateful because, you know, I'm a part of a ministry called New Testament Temple Church of God. It's our church in the Bronx, New York. And we're right now on the grounds of NYCHA, the Eastchester Gardens complex. And we've been there since morning, setting up and doing everything. And we're having a Bronx immersion, revival, baptism. I mean, they have all the hot tubs ready. And we're collaborating with a ministry, the North Georgia Revival. And so they have traveled all the way from North Georgia, and they're collaborating with New York State and, of course, New Testament Temple. We know how to do the thing, so we had to be a part of it. And so they go right through to 8 o'clock tonight. So they're right by Yates Avenue. And you can also enter from Burke Avenue at Eastchester Gardens. So it's powerful ministry, baptism, immersion. You know, you step into a water and you believe God for what you want Him to do for you and for souls to be saved. So that's the highlight of my day, and I feel good. How are you doing? I did ask. So I'd like to welcome you once again to Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And oh man, we're going to be connecting this evening. So I know you're vibing somewhere in the Bronx, Mount Vernon. You're vibing somewhere in the tri-state, across the tri-state. Let me correct myself, across the tri-state. And across the world. We're global. So if you don't know, now you know. We're live on Linkage Radio or online platforms. Our Roku TV, Amazon, Fire TV, TuneIn, Apple TV. We're also on Twitch. Yes. And you can also catch Fit FM 96.7, fitfmja.com out of Stuart Castle in Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. Oh, we're simulcasting today with Fit and Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. That's www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. At 22 minutes after 6 o'clock. It's a good day. It's Thursday. So welcome, everyone. So what's on this evening for you? Inspirational Zone, Praises High on a Thursday. New Zone, a rebroadcast from the Jamaica Information Service. And in Trending Zone, from Celebration to Crisis, the hidden risks of vacation freedom. So we're going to discuss the tragedy of Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the deadly silence of rip currents, and the dangers we overlook when we're unwinding far from home. Open discussion. On this episode of Open Discussion, I'm proud to be rebroadcasting part one of a program that is called Respections on BronxNet TV, a feature that truly speaks to the heart of community resilience. I sat down with Julia Abramson and Gregory Jost in the capacity of guest hosts to spotlight the Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union, one of New York City's boldest low-income credit unions. Their work is transformative, giving real financial power to neighborhoods historically shut out by the banking system. So you know what? Grab your space in the line because Voices with Lady D is high. We're on a high. We're on a high. Call us at 914-268-6148 or 876-219-3474. That's our WhatsApp line. We want to hear from you. It's Linkage Radio, your budding and buzzing station, 24/7, 365 days for the year. A special hello to my husband, Mr. Evil Green. He was here with me on Monday and we had a nice chit chat. I had him in the hot seat and he managed. He's getting a hang of things, how we are rough around here, but we're nice, don't it? So good evening to you. If you have not yet shared the link with someone, please invite them to log on to Voices with Lady D on the YouTube channel. And if they're not able to do that and they're running around, there's always Linkage Radio and we're nice over there. So online. So I like to say online on target. Yes. And we're getting into the meat of the mat for the show this evening. So please share the link, invite someone to come, take a seat and just watch what's going on over here. You know, each and every Thursday we have to kick it off with some blessing. I mean, blessing upon blessing right here on the show in Inspirational Zone. And it's now time for that. It's now time for that, and I want to share it with you. So good evening to you wherever you are, because I want you to know that things are happening around here on this channel, Voices with Lady D. We get busy. We're just so busy we can't help ourselves. So good evening to you. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's make the transition. I like to say that. Now you see me, now you don't. It's a good Thursday. Blessings to everybody tuning in. And we're ready to get our praise on and get into the show because it's going to be a hot, hot one this evening. And we can't do it without you. It's all sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx.
Whatever he says to you, it must come to pass. me can't do it. Life without you, no, me can't see it. And you alone me need. All to you. Are you my soul I chase after? Well of living water, I give it all to you. Yeah, yeah. So many times I've tried it alone. So me go and do it on my own. But that's me can't do. Me can't live without you. No, no, no. It's gonna be you and I forever. We navigate every stormy weather. And when the wind blows or the sun shines, we cuddle in together. Yes, hold me closely and just walk away. Just walk away, take me far away. It's you and me, Jesus. Can't separate us. I give it all to you. See, on my own, I know me can't do it. Life without you, know me can't see it. And you alone me need. All to you. Are you my soul I chase after? Well of living water, I give it all to you. Yes, never said the road would be easy. So in the tough times, man, why you squeeze me? Sometimes I feel I'm losing my balance, but your presence gives me reassurance. Every step I take, I am not alone. No one can harm me, that's for sure. Cause you are my everything. So in this song I sing, yes, it's gonna be you and I forever. We navigate every stormy weather, yes. You and me, Jesus. Only one I trust. Give it all to you. See on my own, say me know me can't do it. Life without you, me can't see it. You alone me need. See I want more of you and less of me. Say more of you and less of me. Said I want more. Say more of you. Said I want more. I give it all to you. See on my own, say me can't do it. Life without you, me can't see it. You alone me need. All to you. Are you my soul I chase after?
Well, they're just some songs you don't want to do anything about. You just want to listen and vibe and just say, yes, Lord, only you alone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It's Center Stage. You just popped in. I'm so glad you're here. Have you subscribed yet? No? You need to do so. Just like all of you who are watching this evening, please click the like button because I want to be able to know who was on and that you stick and stay with me. It's as simple as that. Good evening, Nads. How are you? So it's about time I just hop on over. I like to hop, you see, and I have strong legs, so I can hop. I want to hop on over to the YouTube channel and do my shout outs right away at 6:32 p.m. Hey to Pat, as always, happy, thankful Thursday to everyone. Thank you, Pat. And also to King Ryan, who came in. He says, red. Hey, fam, Sister P, my queen, our color today. Love the look. Thank you, King. Yeah, thank you. And my brother Mike is on. He says, good evening, family and friends. Hope everyone, well, beautiful day, not too hot like some of the other places. Oh boy, no name calling. So hi. And also, my Sherns is here. Are you on resting in the hammock? Like lounging rather in the hammock, Shernsy? You're tuning in. Okay. What? From under the ackee tree. You see what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen? I just can't wait for her to get back here so she can stop bragging, pretty much. But good evening to you, Shernsy. And also, who else is here? My hubby's here. Happy Thursday, everyone. And Nads, it's great to see you. So Nads, could you please share with someone and let them know the show is here and that it promises to be great. So I have news coming up for you right now, because when we have to get some great news out of Jamaica, it's the place where we just say home. Oh, home. How are you, home? So I want to say hi to you, and you. And again, I'm making a quick transition to take you over to the news this evening, all courtesy of my sponsor, Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant. Welcome, everyone.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, July 24, 2025. The stage is now set for the phased implementation of the $1 billion Harmony Cove development at Duncan's in Trelawney. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness cut the ribbon for the joint partnership between the Government of Jamaica and Nexus Luxury Collection. Spanning 2,300 acres, the mega tourism and real estate project is a multi-phase development that will feature luxury hotels, residential villas, entertainment offerings including a casino, as well as generate thousands of jobs. Describing the project as revolutionary, Prime Minister Holness asserts that Jamaicans will benefit from the investment, noting that the state's involvement is rooted in rigorous planning, extensive negotiations, and a cautious approach to investment.
The government did not give up more than it had to for this project to be considered feasible. The public purse was not sacrificed to make this project profitable. That's the best way to explain it. The people of Jamaica are going to get from this project significant benefits, and in fact, more benefits than what we would have had to give as incentives.
Dr. Holness adds that Jamaica's interests were being safeguarded in the partnership.
It is good to have persons in government who understand business as well as government. So we understood the risks of our business partners, and we were able to explain to them the risks to our public purse, the political risks, the environmental risks, the social risks, the climate change risks, the infrastructure risks. And it was a long debate. We eventually settled the tax issues and the other incentives, and we're here today with a very solid agreement that will form the corners within which this investment will operate.
In other news, Jamaica will push for a legally binding global agreement on plastic pollution when the UN Environment Assembly reconvenes in Geneva next month. Chief Technical Director of Environment Policy and Management at the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Gillian Guthrie, says Jamaica is advocating for action across the entire life cycle of plastics, not just waste management.
We have encountered in the negotiations some difference of opinion because plastics is also linked to fossil fuel production. And so when we talk about plastics, we also talk about climate change, and we also talk about greenhouse gas emissions. So there are some countries which are major fossil fuel producers who are not necessarily in support of us looking at the full life cycle of plastics.
These countries, she said, are more focused on waste management. But Jamaica, being net consumers of plastic products, is more interested in the full life cycle.
Because if it is that we don't get that cooperation at the global level, then plastics, which is a very cheap product, will continue to come into our island even though we have a ban.
Two major reforms aimed at improving the governance of school boards across Jamaica are set to be implemented. That's according to Chairman of the Education Transformation Oversight Committee, ETOC, Dr. Adrian Stokes. Speaking at a press conference held at Jamaica House on Wednesday, Dr. Stokes noted that anecdotal evidence suggests schools with well-functioning boards tend to outperform those with weak or dysfunctional governance. To address this, the first reform will introduce a transparent application system for individuals interested in serving on school boards.
Soon, individuals who wish to serve on a school board will upload their CVs and other relevant information to a website managed by the ministry. These individuals will be vetted to ensure they are fit and proper, with ultimate goal of matching competencies to the specific needs of schools.
The second reform will focus on amending the legal framework that governs the composition of school boards in government-operated institutions. The aim is to reduce the risk of internal school members dominating board decisions, which can create conflicts and violate sound governance principles.
The goal is to ensure that the rules applicable to government-run schools are similar to those that apply to church-run schools.
Dr. Stokes emphasized that both reforms are part of broader efforts to modernize and strengthen Jamaica's education system. The MV Logos Hope, the world's largest floating bookstore, is back in Kingston for its 15th visit. The vessel arrived at the cement company's coal pier on Friday, July 19. Speaking at yesterday's official opening ceremony, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, hailed Logos Hope as a powerful symbol of shared global values.
The Logos Hope strengthens our shared mission. It's in this backdrop that we again commend the organizers and the crew for your unwavering dedication to this far-reaching mission that sails not for profit, but for advancing global literacy, cultural exchange, knowledge, understanding, and indeed hope.
Senator Johnson-Smith says the ship's visit coincides with the Ministry of Education's push to increase literacy through its early reading and intervention efforts. Meanwhile, Managing Director of Logos Hope, Edward David, said the ship's goal is to inspire communities through access to knowledge and the sharing of hope.
Each visit, we're inspired by the community's eagerness for quality books, and we look forward to welcoming many of the visitors here to our book fair to explore our diverse collection that we have. We hope that you will find a book for you in this season.
Logos Hope offers over 5,000 book titles at discounted prices and will remain open to the public in Kingston until August 19. And finally, 29 fishers from the Billis Bay fishing community in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, are now certified in pelagic longline and fish aggregating device (FAD) fishing techniques following intensive training aimed at boosting offshore fishing. Their graduation brings to 280 the total number of fishers trained under the Promoting Community-Based Climate Resilience in the Fisheries Sector initiative, spearheaded by the National Fisheries Authority, NFA. The program is supported by a US $4.85 million grant from the Climate Investment Funds administered by the World Bank. At the awards ceremony, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, praised the initiative for strengthening livelihoods and national food security.
Our job is to ensure that we can do it and do it well. The other reason why we're doing this is because we want to see the next generation of fishers. We don't want to hear that when the fishers who were there 40 years ago are no longer with us, that fishing comes to an end. We want to ensure that the younger generation can come into a viable, profitable industry.
The NFA's principal director of the Capture Fisheries Division, Stephen Smichael, explained the importance of the training.
For many years, we have been relying on the nearshore coastal fisheries to the extent that it's very depleted now. But there are new techniques, technologies out there that will allow us to catch the bigger fish, the more valuable fish. And if we can get a significant enough number of persons out there fishing for tuna and tunlight, I believe that economic activity will help to drive a push the industry forward.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Well, you can't say you didn't get some news, productive news out of Jamaica, all courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. And I love saying that each and every Thursday. As you know, I kicked off On the Road to Jamaica Festival 2025. And it has been going exceptionally well. But before I get into that segment, I'd like to give my shout outs. I don't know if you're tuning in for the first time and you're wondering, What are you talking about? Shout outs, Lady D? Well, it sounds something just like this. Celebrating life's sweet moments on Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power. Who's celebrating a birthday? Just got married? Marking an anniversary? Or welcoming a brand new baby? We're here to shout it out loud and proud, Caribbean style. Birthday vibes, more like more blessings and extra cake on the side. Tied the knot, one love, one heart. Here's to forever. Anniversary time, still going strong. That's worth celebrating every step of the way. New baby in the mix, welcome to the world, little one. We're cheering you on already, no matter the milestone. Voices with the Lady D is where we celebrate you with love, laughter, and vibes. Tune in live only on Voices with Lady D, YouTube, Fit FM, Linkage Radio, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. And if you are in a very mournful space, you have lost a loved one, I'd like to extend condolences to you on behalf of all of us here at Linkage Radio and Voices with the Lady D. This coming weekend, I have to, not personally, but I'll be attending 2 funerals, one for my high school mate and one for my media pair, Dave and Bandit, Dwayne DJ Bandit Jones. And so I'm wondering, what is that going to be like 2 days in a row? But this is how things are. This is life. So we extend condolences to everyone. A very pleasant good evening. Oh, it's 6:45. Things are going on around here. Now, last week, we kicked off our festival ride, and the music nice, and the people, them a sing up a storm, and things are happen. And we're just enjoying it. We're just enjoying, like, can't help ourselves, enjoy. And so we thought, and I hope I did the right thing. And so we thought we should, take you back again this week, because it's nice like that, and we just don't know what to do with ourselves. Hey. And, as Jamaicans, we are very proud people, and we support each other. And when things not going right, we tell each other. So we're not even pretenders. We don't even know how to do that. But it's center stage today, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And I know you want to know what's going on. Which song, Lady D? Because I have not been able to keep up. Well, I'm going to help you. I made the transition, and now it's time for me to help you out. So yes, just in case you're not in the know, I'm here to keep you in the know. It's Center Stage, and it's all sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx, who is under the ackee tree, under the mango tree, the guinea tree, the cerasee tree, whatever tree you're under with your transistor radio, or your iPhone, your iPad, because it's good like that, you have Wi-Fi everywhere, then I want to say good evening. But come back with vibe a little bit now. Yeah, man, festival are come.
We are blessed, blessed, blessed. We are blessed.
And I know a whole lot of you from the first time you heard this one, this is the one you love.
Make we rally, make we rally, make we rally.
Ciao.
In love and unity, make we rally, make we rally, make we rally. We're all Jamaicans, can make we rally, make we rally, make we rally. In love and unity, make we rally, make we rally, make we rally. We're all Jamaican. Jamaica is #1 in the Caribbean. Go the people, hold up your hand and help me sing this one. Come on, make we rally, make we rally, make we rally. In love and unity, make we rally, make we rally, make we rally.
You should see me behind the scenes.
Jamaican, can make we rally, make we rally, make we rally. In love and unity, make we rally, make we rally, make we rally. We're all Jamaican. I say you, call you, can't Loving it never cool. Anyhow, look at Shelly and Fraser, Hilly and Thompson, Usain Bolt. Rally round the black, gold and green.
Yeah. When I travel around in this island, as far as I can see, it's beautiful sunshine, then the nice Caribbean sea. If I even go abroad, me have to run, come back a yard. Nowhere like my Jamaica. I told you once and I told you twice, this is a land of paradise. Nowhere like my Jamaica.
Boy, we got the Blue Mountain Peak with the black coffee. We little and we tell them not top what we. How we upon them like a hot patty. Every investors want a piece of we. You ever touch a land bamboo? Firm gully. Visit the site of the country how we place pretty. So make we go back in a little history. Big up Courtney Walsh and Donald Quarry.
They're gonna big it up, big it up, big it up, big it up, big up Jamaica. Big up the Highland. Big up the country. Jamaica Island we love. Yeah. Go make a rally, make a rally, make a rally. In love and unity, make a rally, make a rally, make a rally. We're all Jamaicans, can make a rally, make a rally, make a rally. In love and unity, make a rally, make a rally, make a rally. We're all Jamaicans.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. We're all Jamaicans. Yes, man. And the song's so nice, don't it? Talk truth, as we would say. Talk up the things. So welcome, everyone. Now, I promised that I would take you to an interview that I did on Bronx Net. A gentleman reached out to me and said that, the lead for that network, they weren't able to be in attendance to host the program, and they reached out to me, and I felt quite honored. And I've learned over the years, never turn down an opportunity. So I quickly said yes, just like when I was starting this radio station here. Voices with Lady D. And so I went and I, did my thing. And thankfully, they thought that it went very well, and I was pleased with myself. And so I'd like to share that with you this evening. Not only am I just sharing it, but the information that is provided, you will find that you may just want to share it with someone and say, hey, here's a credit union that is in the Bronx and they're doing tremendous things. So I'd like to welcome you to the segment and just say, come, take a seat, and let's get into this segment, which is part 1. I will bring you part 2 at another time, but this is part 1. So I'd like to share it with you. And the program is called Respections. Interesting name. Yes, Respections. So welcome, everyone. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and garner as much as you can from this interview. I'm your host, the Lady D, Denise Gomez, and it's my pleasure to bring you this feature. Good afternoon and welcome to Respections, the show where we spotlight the people and programs creating real impact right here in the Bronx on BronxNet. I'm your host, Denise Gomez Green, and today we're here to explore an important conversation around financial access and economic empowerment in our community. I'm honored to be joined by two passionate
Advocates for Change. Jamelia Abramson, Director of Programs at University Neighborhood Housing Program and board member at Lower East Side People's Federation Credit Union, and Gregory Jost, Policy and Campaigns Advisor at Banana Kelly Community Improvement Association and the convener of the Bronx Financial Access Coalition, better known as BXFAC. Welcome to Respections. Thank you both for being here. How are you doing?
Amazing. Thank you for having us
It's
today.
a pleasure. It's a
we're
pleasure.
happy to be here.
We are certainly lighting up this screen this afternoon. So let's start off with some great introduction here about the Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union. Is one of the city's low-income credit unions serving neighborhoods long excluded and exploited by mainstream banks. The credit union was established in 1986 because the Lower East Side was a banking desert, and it is still today, almost 40 years later. And so LSPFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit financial institution. It has made sure to offer safe, affordable, and democratic alternatives to traditional banks. It feels strongly about affordable financial services as a right, not a privilege. This past December, we opened a new branch on 941 Intervale Avenue in the South Bronx, another banking desert. They currently have 4 locations: Les, East Harlem, North Shore, Staten Island, and now the Bronx. LES PFCU has never been afraid to enter markets where we know there is a need for financial assistance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start talking. So we want to start by giving our viewers a bit of background. Why did the Bronx Financial Access Coalition form?
So we came together actually a little bit before the pandemic hit. And there was an uptick in the number of bank branches that were closing at that time, 2019. And then it just exacerbated during the pandemic. So we were looking at how our neighborhoods were faring, right? Where people who have had limited access to kind of mainstream banking services for a long time, and also where many of the banks that do exist have very high fees, right? So that we have a lot of financial institutions that don't necessarily help people meet them where they're at. People in our neighborhoods who are not necessarily making a lot of money. A lot of the big banks have shifted their models from trying to attract everyday people as customers to having more private wealth customers, people with already a lot of money. And we've seen that shift. And so for the banks that are around, many of them have high monthly maintenance fees if you don't meet like the minimum balance requirements. So if you don't have a lot of money to start with, you know, it can be very expensive to get any banking done. And so with very few options and some of them closing, we were thinking, how could we help expand access in a way that was really beneficial to our residents, to our neighbors, as people who work at longstanding housing organizations. We also have a real strong commitment to community-controlled models. By that meaning member-owned cooperative financial services. And we thought, you know what? We need to have specifically we call them community development credit unions back in the Bronx. We've had them in the past, but we didn't have any at this moment.
Right.
So we saw that as a way to expand access for our residents that would give them an opportunity not just to get the basic products and services, but also to build on that model of being a member owner, where the products and services are designed by people like us. So they're going to meet our specific needs. So we pulled together 4 different housing organizations that were working on what we call kind of community reinvestment policies and campaigns, and covering different neighborhoods throughout the Bronx.
Wonderful.
And that was the formation of the coalition. So I'm with Banana Kelly Community Improvement Association, which is not far from here in kind of Hunts Point, Longwood, Prospect Ave neighborhoods. Jamelia is with the University Neighborhood Housing Program, as you mentioned, in the Northwest Bronx. And then we also work, I want to give a big shout out to We Stay Nos Quedamos, which is right here in Melrose.
Yes.
And WEDCO, the Women's Housing and Economic Development Corporation, that works in a few different neighborhoods, Morrisania and Intervale, and also now in Melrose as well. So that's who we came together to work on this together.
And I'm sure our audience, they are so delighted to hear this, because being from the Caribbean, we know the genesis of the credit union and how effective it has been and impactful, and have sent many children through school and assisting in community relations. So we commend you highly. Now we'd like to get into the partnership question of our conversation this afternoon. Why did Bronx Fact decide to partner with the Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union? Because this partnership seems very intentional in all of what you have shown and spoken about this afternoon, but what draw you to this credit union in particular?
Yeah, like you said, Denise, it's very intentional. The partnership with BFAC as a coalition, we see the need in the community. We see it from our different neighborhoods, but we also heard that financial empowerment alone is not enough. Like, we can talk about how to properly use credit, but if you don't have access to the right product, it's not effective. And like you said, the diaspora, our immigrants are familiar with credit unions back home, and many of our low-income tenants and the residents that we work with understood that being pushed away by mainstream banking is not the way to go, because they couldn't afford it. They didn't feel seen. They didn't feel welcome when they walked into a branch that didn't have products for them. So we were sure that we needed an institution that catered to low-income families, that catered to the youth, that catered to the small businesses, to the mom-and-pop stores, that was able to serve low-income families that had no credit or very little income, and they weren't treated any differently than someone else that came in with a larger paycheck. So the connection with Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union was almost natural because of their mission-driven efforts and the intention that they put behind the products that they have available to the members. And the fact that everyone is a member, not a client, immediately showed us the ability to be able to work with an institution that cared and was able to roll up their sleeves just like we were doing here.
Wonderful, and the perfect segue, because we want to ask this afternoon to our guests, what are the benefits of being a member of the credit union? Because we want to know, how does it benefit the individuals and the larger community? That's part A. And part B, what are some of the specific products and services that the credit union offers to its members?
Yeah. You want to take that, and then we'll tag team on that?
Yeah, let's tag team here, because there's so much to say about this. And I think, you know, for folks who've been burned by kind of the establishments that have been around, a lot of people have been burned by some of the big, you know, existing financial institutions. Some of that work, early work, is just repairing trust in any kind of financial institution. So we've had folks come in who are, you know, have either no credit, but many people who have damaged credit. And maybe even owe one of those big banks money because they're charging them monthly fees on an account that has very little money in it. And so kind of doing some of those workouts sometimes just to like get a footing and getting in the door is the first thing. And hearing somebody who can listen. I remember when we were getting started, someone came in to one of our mobile branch days where we had the mobile branch going around the neighborhood before the physical branch opened. And we had the CEO of the credit union was out that day, and she engaged beautifully with someone off the street who owed one of the big banks money.
Oh, really?
And was going to help them get that sorted out so they wouldn't have to pay that. And then they could get their account with the credit union opened. Sometimes it's just like those little things like person to person. I was going to say, and member to member, because all the folks who work there and us who are working together on this project are also members. So I'll just say really briefly, and then I'll hand it off. When I started joined as a member and started my account, I did it with my daughter, who was just turning 18 at the time.
Nice.
And she had come home from school and was learning something a little bit about credit in school and how you need credit, and if you don't have it. And she was having a little bit of a freak out moment because she's like, oh my goodness, I don't have any credit, I don't have anything. I said, it's okay, calm down. Let's do this together, and we can set up a joint account and get a joint credit card and get you started on the easy path. Right?
Wonderful.
It's an easy path, but like a path where we can work together in partnership and learn these things together. And so I felt like that was just like the most basic thing to do for somebody who didn't have credit. It was the right place to start.
Wonderful. And before you take the second part of the question, Jamelia, it tells us that both of you have a passion for people. Because at the core of it, it's not so much about their money. They could have been struggling with the bank, but here are people who care. And the fact that you shared the story about having engaged someone on the street, that tells a lot about the spirit of the organization.
Yeah, and that's exactly like at its name, as we see it on the name, Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union. We understood that was at the center of the products that are offered. And like the CEO is walking the streets, we have someone from lending talking to members in a mobile branch before the branch opened that can talk about auto loans, mortgages, small businesses. And sometimes that's all it takes, like Greg just said. It's like someone that explains how does this work and how does it relate to me. Because we can know in theory about a lot of things, but how will it have an impact in my life? And at the end of the day, how will it help my pocket?
Yes.
Because I want to make sure that it's not costing me more and that I'm not going to be in debt. So all of the products available at the Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union are very intentional to make sure they're not predatory and they're not extracting wealth from our neighborhood.
That's
so
true.
there's low income, low fee checking and savings account for everyone, low income or not.
Of course.
There's low interest rates on loans, everything from personal, auto loan, mortgages. If someone wants to purchase a co-op, right now the market is really expensive. So if someone is looking at their first apartment, maybe a co-op or a condo would make the most sense before you buy that big house with the white picket fence, right?
Right,
that
and
we
the
always
dog.
dream and have been sold that dream. But homeownership looks very differently. So the credit union has a focus on co-ops and condos, and they have a product that can help a lot of new first-time home buyers. And then the rates, that's what's going to make the difference. Like, you cannot get more debt that you cannot repay. Like, and sometimes that's where we see the problem with financial literacy, where people don't know how to utilize credit, like Greg was just mentioned the example with his daughter, but also it's like once you have it, how do you repay it back and how long is it going to take you? And if those terms are not favorable, it could really be a financial catastrophe.
Yes.
So that's why having the right product with the information, that's where the powerful come in.
And I might add right here, if I may, that for many people here in the diaspora, we are accustomed to the susu or what is called the partner. And so they may have stashed away, whether it's under the mattress or in a box in a closet somewhere, or in that
cookie jar. Cookie jar, right?
Or in what we call the grip. That little dulcimina. Most people from the Caribbean would know that was a brand. So they may have their money stashed away, but the fact that they're gonna now say, oh my goodness, I can actually come in and have a conversation about how I can open an account, what are the benefits of opening this account with the credit union. So that's commendable, because we have to think of people where they are and their different levels.
Correct.
Isn't that how it is? Absolutely. So we're talking about individual and community impact, and we've discussed about how it benefits the individuals and the larger community. And we know that it's not just about the checking and savings, but it's about strengthening neighborhoods, and the lives. Correct?
Correct. So it's like once you have a checking account and the savings, that's great. But like, do you know how to use credit? Do you know how to pay back loan? Can you pay it back and then send your kids to college, buy your first car, buy that home that we were talking about, start a business, like building those relationships. And it's almost like a training wheel.
Yes.
Like you start with a little moped first, and then you can have a bigger vehicle. So I think having the knowledge and the trust that Greg was mentioning earlier, it's so important that makes those wheels turn properly. And trusting that no one's going to take advantage of you, because that's the other underlying cost, that loan is not going to be sold to a third party. It's going to stay here in our neighborhood. And what's reinvested, it's reinvested here in the community.
Okay. And what has the response been? Because I think that's crucial to the longevity of the organization.
Yeah, we're out having conversations with people, and we have, I don't have the exact number, a couple hundred people have joined since we started this work here in the Bronx. There were actually a lot of Bronx members already that were traveling down to either East Harlem or Lower East Side to one of the branches. So we've been able to expand access for them as well, existing members. And I just want to jump back onto what Jamelia was saying as well, though, at the neighborhood level, what's so important of creating this alternative vision and model that's not extractive because of the impact that it's had in our neighborhoods. We know that poverty is big business, that there are a lot of people who make money by going after and targeting, because you used the word predatory before, and I just want to make sure everybody understands what we mean when we say predatory and extractive. When people are living in some kind of financial scarcity, it can become much easier to prey upon them, because people are in some form of desperate situation, and you're not necessarily seeing everything, right? You have kind of a tunnel vision where I got to pay this bill, I got to make this thing, and I'm willing to maybe do something that isn't in my best interests because I just got to do this thing. It's survival, right? At that kind of core level. And so there are a lot of businesses out there that prey upon people in those kinds of situations, who are in desperate situations, unfortunately. And so having a model where people can understand that that's not going to happen to you here. So when we're building trust, sometimes that's what it is, the original conversation, and it might be more than one conversation. In fact, one of our outreach specialists at Banana Kelly, Sonia Ferguson, who couldn't be with us here today, but wanted to be here and talk about this, shares with people in the neighborhood over and over again. And sometimes it's the third, the fourth, the fifth conversation with somebody. It's the follow-up and say, hey, we care about you. We want you to come in and get this thing. And by the way, did you notice that your neighbor signed up as well? And we're all doing this together. And it's kind of like you said, like the Susu or the partner, but we're doing it at a little bit larger scale. Like we're pulling together all these people across the Bronx and across New York City. And we're in this together. So let's use each other as a resource in a way, and make sure that we take care of each other so that we can achieve all of these dreams that we have.
Right. And of course, we know that with information, once it's communicated right, people are then able to make an informed decision. Because we make bad decisions, we are not guided, or we may be in a particular situation and we do not want to come out of the shadows, kind of thing. So we are getting bits and pieces, as we use quote unquote, from the village lawyers, and they are misinformed.
And if I can just say, these conversations are also happening at the organization level. So we also are select partner groups of Lower East Side, meaning that all of our clients and members can become members of the credit union no matter where they live in the Bronx. And that has helped facilitate that trust, but has also provided open conversations at the nonprofit level, because nonprofit they also need to put their money somewhere. So the credit union is available for that. And lastly, I just wanted to say it's been great to have conversation with the supers in the building that we are affiliated with as well, because they live in the community, they're using those services, and sometimes they're relying on check cashing or services that are costly on a month-to-month basis that don't
Yes.
seem like a lot, but if you're spending $10 each month, over the year it adds up. That's money that can go in to your savings or whatever system you have. If it's under the mattress, that's fine. As long as you're saving in it, it's not being
Yes.
taken away from your household.
Yes, and having the presence of a credit union in a community, it's a move into profitability because people are now able to say, I have a plan for my money. This is what I will be doing, rather than we deposit in an account and it's digital now, so you may not have your passbook, but you're looking at the numbers just going up each time you're depositing, but there is no concept in your mind as to who can I talk to when I go into the credit union? How can they guide me in terms of my long-term goals?
Yeah. So at the credit union here in the Intervale location, Jose Hernandez is the branch manager, and he's there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So he's there
So 4.
till 4.
Yes.
Correction.
Don't go at 4:30. Come before 4.
So he's there to guide members, but also to have conversation with people that are curious as to like, what is a credit union? What do they do? How can they help? If they were on check system with another bank, like how do we fix that? Because the goal is to making sure that there's financial support and that you're meeting with a financial coach. And that service is free as well, meeting with a financial coach, talking about budgeting, credit, debt, savings, student loans, all those conversations that go hand in hand with becoming a member and thriving, like to be able to meet your financial goals.
And even as adults are trying to play catch up, you know, because some bad decisions, now that the credit union is here, they are now able, if they have children like you did, to take their children along during the transaction so they can get firsthand experience of what it means to sit with an agent and to discuss how my money is going to be, what's the plan I have for my money. And that stimulates them early. Because where I'm from, we had a piggy bank. Granted, we would go into the piggy bank from time to time. So that principle wasn't really stressed to say, hey, when you put it away, unless it's an emergency, should you go into that piggy bank?
You should have another tool to be able to like rely for those emergencies.
And we're also encouraging people who do already have a bank account to consider becoming members as well, because sometimes you need to have multiple accounts so that you can use this account for these things and separate it and say like, but what I'm going to do at the credit union is really work on this other part of my life, which is building up my credit, perhaps getting a lower interest rate loan, refinancing out. And even if I've, you know, what we've said a number of times, it's not just about people who are unbanked or underbanked, but it's also people who are unhappily banked.
Okay.
You know, we have the big banks the big banks are only getting bigger. They're getting further and further away from us.
Yes.
You know, there was a time when most of the banks in the Bronx were based in the Bronx, if you can imagine that. But being here in the financial capital of the world means that most of our banks have been bought up by, well, or consolidated into just a small number of big national, multinational corporations that are very distant from us. And there's not really much accountability. They're only accountable to their shareholders on Wall Street. What's great about the credit union is that the shareholders is every member who's a depositor.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. So if one person does well, everybody
does
well. So it's in the best interest of everyone that we all thrive together. One thing that I wanted to bring up before I forget is that membership is not defined only on your immigration status. So if anyone has an ITIN and it identifies, it's a number issued by the IRS. I'm trying to remember the acronym. Identity Taxpayer ID number.
There you go. You got it. You got
Took some time.
Yes.
So if anyone has an ITIN number as opposed to a social security number, they are still able to access all of the services available to the member. So they can open a checking and savings, they can apply for a loan, they can build credit, they can buy a home, they can buy a car.
Yes.
So we don't want that to be a deterrent to becoming a member and having a happy relationship with a financial institution.
Absolutely. What an interesting, enlightening conversation I've been having here this afternoon with Jamelia Abramson and Gregory Jost. And it's all about the Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union. And it is one of the city's low-income credit unions, serving neighborhoods long excluded and exploited by mainstream banks. The credit union was established in 1986 because the Lower East Side was a banking desert. And it is still today, almost 40 years later. Of course, you have been tuned into Respections, and I know that you are now putting your information in perspective so that something remarkable will happen to those numbers that you want to see go up as an uptick in your financial health. So it has always been the focus of Respections, the show where we spotlight the people and programs creating real impact right here in the Bronx. I'm your host, Denise Gomez Green, and stick and stay. We will be right back. Well, that was the part one of the interview I conducted with Gregory and Jamelia, and I realized that, and I hope you were informed, they may not have been able to tap into everything, which is why it is so important for you to go into their office and have a sit down. I saw a note that King Ryan posted, and that my response is directed to you, King Ryan, because you can go in and have a sit down with them. So I will pass that information on. At another time, I will, of course, air part two, and that's where you get a lot of information. But I hope you were informed, and guess what? We have some great conversation coming up because, as you are all aware, something tragic occurred on Sunday. And we just want to share and discuss it with you about Malcolm-Jamal Warner, because he was vacationing in Costa Rica and there was a tragic drowning. And we would like to get into that conversation and ask you, what are your thoughts? Because as Evelyn and I were brainstorming how to present this and to be empathetic, sympathetic at the same time, ultimately we're asking, what has his death taught us? And it has taught us a lot of things. And so we have some bulleted points here that we would like to discuss with you. So right now we're going to just say, stick and stay with us. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. If you've never heard of them, man, they have finger-licking good food over there, and we don't want you to miss out. Stay with us. It's Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
And so we say welcome back. Of course, with all that Alrighty, so let me get this for you. But of course, you know, we want to say, hey, you need a little breather. And we're still on the road to Jamaica Festival 2025. So as I make the transition, let's head on over and give you some music to drop some more legs, and then we can start our conversation because it's worth it all. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. And so I just want to take it back, take it from the top, and get it together, Lady D. Get it together, get it together.
Still a well a vibe and a knock domino. Sunshine, a smile and the sweet breeze a blow. We jump in a river cause it never stop flow. Ignite the music and make a deal a vibe. Get some food and cook up on the riverside. Fried fish with balmy on the side. Moments like this in me heart it bright. So how me feel live? When the vibes in my country so sweet. Me love the music, turn up the reggae beat. Me love my food and my culture, me no fried. I forgot overseas. How me feel live? When me heroes them fight to make me free. Let's celebrate with us from 63. We are the greatest in the world, me have a pledge my loyalty. Jamaica sweet and it never die out. How me feel live and I also have me wrote. Me love my corned beef with my fried bread fruit. Make up my island, I woulda never substitute. Me love my nationality, kind like a charity. Warm loving people and we full of hospitality. Beautiful ladies, golden personality. Me can't sell out my culture to vanity. Oh, me feel live. When the vibes in my country so sweet. Me love the music, turn up the reggae beat. Me love my food and my culture, me no fried, no forgot overseas. Oh, me feel live. When me heroes them fight to make me free. Let's celebrate with us on 63. We are the greatest in the world, me have a pledge my loyalty. Everywhere you turn, you see everybody smiling. Music playing and the ladies whining. Ocean of love and everybody vibing. We party till we see the sun shining. Oh, me fi switch me so patriotic. I woulda never give up my citizenship. Me no wanna other genre than me reggae music. No other era code than my 876. So how me fi live?
Well, how me for live indeed, how me for live, how me for live, how me for live. So we're trying to figure that out. So I'd like to say good evening to you, and you, wherever you are. Sure. Good evening, Mr. Wilby. Yes, I'm on. Yes, ladies and hold on. Yes, I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to start our conversation now because, a lot is happening and we really need to discuss what has happened with Jamal because we miss him. I see all the posts and so on, and it's just one of those very unfortunate occurrences that have taken place. And so I just want, yes, type. Okay, and so I just want to get into the discussion now because, of course, as you know, the show ends at 8 o'clock. Now, if I may take you back a little bit, on Sunday, July 20, Malcolm-Jamal Warner was vacationing with his family in Costa Rica, enjoying the Caribbean coast near Playa Cocles, a beach known for its beauty but also its dangerous rip currents. He was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter when both were suddenly caught in a powerful current. Nearby surfers saw them struggling and rushed to help. One surfer managed to get his daughter safely to shore, but Warner was pulled under. Despite 45 minutes of CPR from asphyxia by submersion, accidental drowning. What makes this even more poignant is that Warner had always kept his family life private, but he spoke often about the profound love he had for his daughter. In one tribute, he wrote, "A love so profound that even a poet can't find words to describe it. I am proud that we have been able to provide a wonderful, loving, and spiritually enriching environment as a home base into which all babies should be born and thrive." End quote. The beach had warning signs in English and Spanish, but no lifeguards were present that day. A local volunteer lifeguard group later issued a public plea for stronger safety policies and government support to prevent future tragedies. Please hold the line. Please hold the line. Okay. As we were saying, this wasn't just a celebrity loss, it was a father trying to protect his child. It's a story that calls for compassion, awareness, and action. And so we are discussing this very tragic occurrence this evening because what his death taught us. One, it taught us even strong swimmers are vulnerable. Warner had just finished a surf lesson and returned to the water when the current pulled him out. Good evening, welcome.
Good evening, my queen. How are you?
It's a good day, sir. I am well. How do you do?
Life is good.
Wonderful.
I have no complaint.
I agree.
Well, my heart goes out to the drowning man. I have very little of much to say. What I call most about is the turnover in my country. I see the prior
the turnover.
The
hold on, King. Hold on. You want to talk about something other than what I am talking about here now?
Yes.
So you're going to have to give me a little bit. Let me just get into this and then we can talk. Okay? All right. Appreciate it.
Sounds like a plan.
All righty. Okay. So as I was saying, where were we? All right. So what his death taught us, and the line is open to you. 914-268-6148 or 876-219-3474. So again, even strong swimmers are vulnerable. Warner had just finished a surf lesson and returned to the water when the current pulled him out. So that's one thing that his death taught us. Rip currents are silent threats. They don't drag you under, they pull you away from shore. Panic and exhaustion often lead to drowning. So I'd like you to call and share with me what your thoughts are. Lack of lifeguards is a major risk. No lifeguard was present at the time despite posted warnings. Okay. And drowning doesn't discriminate. Adults, even celebrities, are not immune. This challenges the myth that water safety is just a kid's issue. Community education is critical. Many people, especially in urban and underserved rather communities, lack access to swimming lessons and water safety training. So based on all of these, I have done research for. So it is important for us to be aware when we go into certain spaces. And as Evel and I were talking, when I was younger, I was very daring. I would ride a bicycle without a brake. I would put my foot up in the stirrups. I would climb, jump, water, headers, all kind of stuff, deep hole. You see me here, as we say, deep hole, upper deep hole, jumping and frolicking and swimming like a fish. But something had happened once, nothing tragic, but it taught me that I can't just think about myself. I have to think about other people. So sometimes as we are embarking on our vacation and we are having new experiences and so on, it's important for us to sometimes be very careful, whether we're young, old, or middle in age. We have to be very careful. And as it goes on in the article, it says how to prevent this from happening again. Because I have gone on beach trips. I tell people I don't go to the beach here in America. When I go anywhere, I don't go to no beach. I don't like the water here. I just don't. I have no interest. They tell you nice beaches in Florida when you go. Yeah, I go on vacation. I don't carry no swimsuit. None of that. You'd be surprised. But if I'm out, I pay attention. I used to go to beach trips, I'm telling you, and we go all the way out in that long plank going out into the water. Sometimes we didn't even test the water first. But what we did, we would observe how the people who know the water would say, over here is not as deep, or over there, or you can do your headers right here and thing, and you go in the water and you swim your way out and you're fine. But we really used to take a lot of risks. But unfamiliar territory does not work. And with Evel was saying that a co-worker told him that he had gone somewhere too, and he stood up in one part of the water, and then when he go another part, bottomless, nothing. So all of those things can happen, and you don't know the body of water that you're in. I have an uncle who says water don't have hand, he has no business, and he has not learned to swim at all. So what they're saying is learn to recognize rip currents. Look for calm patches between waves, and you may call me. You don't have to wait for me to complete the presentation. To call 914-268-6148 or 876-219-3474. Let me hear your thoughts. What do you think? Could his death been avoided? You know, all of those things you keep asking yourself the question. It says, learn to recognize rip currents, look for calm patches between waves, discolored water, or fast-moving debris. And I can tell you, I had gone down to the river when I was about maybe 12. I started high school. But I was about 11, 12. I would go down to the river the whole time. I never started learning to swim. And one day we were down at the river, my uncle and a few of my aunties. And all of a sudden I realized I was not near them. You know what happened? As we would say, the river was coming down, believe it or not, and it started to pull me away. I was distance away from them, and I was trying to say, help, help, with my little hands coming up, and I was going under. I would try to, flick my legs and thing, and come back up and say, help, and water coming into my mouth, and I saw myself going down, drowning. And as we say, God would have it, it's a Rasta man by the name of Naya. I don't know, God made Naya zoom in from where he was above from them, which would have been a good distance. And he shouted out, and when my uncle turned and saw me, who can swim, and he dived in and pushed me up and took me out. You hear me telling you? So water not easy. It says swim parallel to the shore. If caught in a rip current, don't fight it. Swim sideways until you're out of the current, then head back in. Stay calm and float. Panic leads to exhaustion. Floating conserves energy and buys time for rescue. Let me hear your thoughts. Swim near lifeguards. Beaches with lifeguards have dramatically lower drowning rates. 1 in 18 million odds. That is true. Take swimming lessons. Adults and children alike benefit from formal instruction. Many nonprofits offer free or low-cost programs. Know your limits. Don't overestimate your swimming ability or underestimate the ocean's power. Check beach conditions. Before heading out, look up tide schedules, wave forecasts, and local advisories. And I believe all these tips are very, very important. Not many of us pay attention to any of that. All we know, we're out somewhere, especially when we go on international trips. There is the novelty of just wanting an experience. But we still have to be very cautious in how we conduct ourselves when we're out, because you never know what can happen. So we have to be very, very careful. Yes, we tend to take more risks on vacation. Yes, and it is a tragedy. Good evening, Marie. So nice to see you. So let me get back in because I really want to share the information. Now for the next topic, why travelers are more vulnerable. See what I'm talking about? Unfamiliar terrain. People don't know local hazards. We don't. We go into somewhere new. We don't do any investigation. Like rip currents, wildlife, or unsafe neighborhoods. So they misjudge danger. You've ever known of anybody who they just gone to Jamaica, or they gone somewhere, they gone Mexico, they gone here, Belize, wherever. No clue about the place. And everybody just out and about and not paying attention to some of the danger signs and spots. We have to be very careful. Relaxed mindset. Vacation mode lowers defenses. Folks let go of routines, ignoring warning signs, and take risks they wouldn't at home. That's true. Language, which is why you have a lot of terrible things that happen when young people go off on spring break and all kinds of things. They let loose because some of the things they can't do when their parents are around or people who know them in their community, they get a chance to do. Language and cultural gaps, not understanding signs, customs, or emergency procedures can delay critical decisions. Overconfidence in excursions. Travelers often dive into activities like hiking, boating, or surfing without proper training or safety checks. And I think that even though Jamal only had one surf lesson, I don't know if I'm ready to go back out. I want them to teach me the little surfing right near the shallow part. I don't know. It's just unfortunate. Alcohol and distraction. Drinking, partying, and constant phone use make people less aware of their surroundings. Solo exploration. Wandering alone, especially at night in remote areas, increases vulnerability to accidents or crime. You hear what we're talking about here. All of these things count, they add up. Now, how to stay safe while traveling? Here are some tips, because young or old, we need them. Research before you go. Know the local risks: weather, wildlife, crime, water safety, and emergency contacts. It's important for you to check out those things. When you go somewhere, this is important, crucial to your safety. I see that. Sad reminder that we all have an allotted time to live on this side of heaven. Indeed. Stay alert, not paranoid. Enjoy yourself, but keep your radar on. Trust your instincts if something feels off. If it feels off, don't bother take it on. Limit risky behavior. Avoid swimming alone, hiking without gear, or venturing into unknown areas without a guide. Blend in. Dress modestly. Don't go dress like you come from foreign. Avoid flashy jewelry and learn a few local phrases to navigate better. That happens in the Caribbean and other parts of the world. And even Jamaicans who, when they travel to Jamaica, now they are telling you just dress simple, because you may not think you look different, but you do look different. Your complexion, just the way you look differently to people. And if you go and just flashy so, you're just saying, hey, come on over and take what I have. And it has happened to a lot of people. Dress modestly, in moderation, okay? Use trusted services. Book excursions with reputable companies and verify credentials for guide or instructors. Share your plans. Let someone know your itinerary and check in regularly. So very simple information on, some of these tidbits that people need, because you never know. You never know what will happen to you. I'm telling you, these are not the times. These are not the times for, us to just be living anyhow way and thinking it's okay. It's not okay. 7:46 p.m. And so if you'd like to, give me a call, you may do so by calling me at 914-268-6148 or 876-219-3474. Now, you all remember Jamal. He was in the Cosby Show, and we learned of him there. We learned of his humor. We saw his talent. And we all fell in love. Seriously, we fell in love with him from we saw him on screen when he was in the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show, as most of us know, and you can share what you recall about him. What are some of his attributes that you were drawn to as a young actor and as he got older? And it tells me that he also had a deep conviction about life. There is an interview that he did recently, and he spoke about in the event he died, and it's like he wasn't even bothered nor afraid. So we say to ourselves, oh my goodness, the very thing that you mentioned can occur soon after. But, you know, um, life is something. And so I just want to share that he was born on August 18 in 1970 and he died on July 20. He was an American actor, musician, and poet. He rose to prominence for his role as Theodore Huxtable on the NBC sitcom The Cosby Show, and it ran from 84 to 92, which earned him an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series at the 38th Primetime Emmy Awards, which was quite a recognition and accomplishment. He was also known for his roles in Malcolm McGee on the sitcom Malcolm and Eddie from 1996 to 2000. Dr. Alex Reed in the sitcom Read Between the Lines that ran from 2011 to 2015. And Julius Rowe in Suits 2016 to 2017. And Dr. A.J. Austin in the medical drama The Resident. I loved him in The Resident. And so in 2015, Warner received a Grammy Award for Best Traditional R&B Performance by the song Jesus Children, alongside Robert Glasper Experiment and Layla Hathaway. And so he was born in Jersey City, in New Jersey, on August 18. He was named after Malcolm X, believe it or not, a jazz pianist, Ahmad Jamal. He was raised in Los Angeles from age 5. At the age of 9, he demonstrated an interest in show business that led to enrollment in acting schools. His career as a child performer later led him to graduate high school from the Professional Children's School in New York City. And so with his career in acting, with appearances and roles on many television shows, and I mentioned those already, Warner also guest starred in an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, playing the role of Hilary Banks's boyfriend. He hosted the literacy promoting children's show CBS Story Break in 1993 and 94. In 1995, Warner appeared as a homeless man on Touched by an Angel. He also portrayed U.S. Marshal Terry Nessip in the film Drop Zone with Wesley Snipes back in 1994, and Leroy Cappy in the HBO film The Tuskegee Airmen. I remember that in 95. From 1996 to 2000, Warner co-starred with comedian Eddie Griffin on the UPN sitcom Malcolm and Eddie. He went on to... Okay, let's see who wants to have a conversation with me. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Lady D, and good evening to all the listeners.
Hello, Pat J.
Yes, I know the time is fast spent, but I just want to put my $20 worth in. I just want to say we lost the Giants, you know.
Yeah.
I am just so overwhelmed. I've watched Theo over the years, and, you know, he was an outstanding actor, and to see his life just be taken away like that, you know, it tells me that life is fleeting. You know, you're here 1 minute, you're gone the next. This place is not our final home, but let us make our mark the way Theo did make his mark on the Cosby Show. And when all is said and done, just live our best. Do the best, walk the best, talk the best, and just live up to the expectation of what society empowers us to be. Because normally when we hear of a young black man dying, it's either drugs or alcohol, whatever it is. But as we can see, he had no alcohol or any drugs in his system. It's just a tragic, tragic loss. And I don't even want to elaborate anymore. I think his death is a little suspicious to me, you know?
How so?
But, if they had more lifeguards You know, even though they claim that there were signs, if they had more lifeguards, you know, within the area. Yes, I agree with you that when we travel, we need to do our homework. But he wanted to just have peace. What prompted him to go into the ocean at that time, we would never know. Maybe the person who went to rescue him, you know, he was able to say something to him, you know, before he really went under. But I'm hoping it's just a tragedy and there's nothing more to it. That you know, sometimes you say something on the radio or TV and it can be taken out of context. But I just hope that there is no suspicion where it's just is concerned, and that is just, you know, an accident. So let us just pray for his little daughter, because it's going to be very, very hard for her to live out her life at this point, knowing that her dad is not there.
Yes.
The last time she saw her dad was him trying to save her from a near drowning accident. Wow.
Yes, very sad. But we thought
Yes,
we should just, you know, talk about that a little bit this evening, because every day people are taking trips and doing different things, and
of course
we're not paying attention. We're
And
not
you're
paying attention
absolutely
at all.
correct. When we travel, we need to do our homework. I went to Ghana last year. I didn't have an opportunity to go into the ocean. But we saw the water. The water looked so peaceful. I wouldn't dare go in the water. I'm too far away from home, you know? Even when I go to Jamaica, if I go to the sea, I sit right there where the where the sand is. I'm not going to go beyond my knees. No way, Lady B, I'm petrified. Because, yes, rip currents, they can occur at any given time. And if you're in an environment that you're not familiar with, that makes it even worse. I was talking to a friend of mine whose dad is from Costa Rica, and she was explaining to us that that particular area where Jamal lost his life, he almost drowned twice, and it's an area where it said so many tourists, so many people have lost their lives. So had Warner do his homework? Did they tell him to avoid the area at certain times because of the rip current? He might not have gone into the water, but the Caribbean Ocean, the water is so enticing that it can look very, very calm. But the moment you go in and you reach out to a certain length, you know, the rip tide comes and it pulls you under. Even the best of swimmers, they say, have lost their lives.
That is true, Pat.
So thank you for the program this evening. Yes, it gives us an opportunity to be in the know, to know a little bit more about when we're traveling, how we need to be prepared, and how we can have a better understanding of the ocean, what it can do, can take your life, just like that.
Yes, Patty. So thank you so much for calling in and sharing your comments with me as always.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Lady D.
All right.
And Sister Gloria, I didn't hear her this evening. Hi, King. Yes.
Yes.
King didn't come on this evening,
No,
did he?
he came, but I was just about to do the intro for this segment. So, you know, he's welcome to call me before we wrap up.
Yes, yes, the time is fast.
Because he wanted to talk about something
love you
else.
and leave you now. Give someone else an opportunity to come on, okay?
All right. Thanks, Pat.
All right. Thank you, Lady D.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye now.
All righty. So, Mr. King, if you wish to call and share your comments now that I'm closing this segment, you are welcome to do so. Or if anyone else would like to call and just say hello, and it's going to be weekend coming up, so I'm wrapping up in a few minutes. But I just want to let everybody know that life is short, and we have to do the best we can. Anything can happen to us, but of course. So we are just saying, may his soul rest in peace. He has done quite a bit in his lifetime. He died at the age of 54. And may his soul rest. So I'm going to close this segment now, and just to let everybody know that I do have another selection. But don't forget, of course, I'm broadcasting on Fit FM 96.7 out of Duncan's, Stewart Castle in Duncan's, Trelawney. Have you ever been to Stewart Castle? Anybody ever been to Stewart Castle before? I would like you to tell me if you've ever been to Stewart Castle. But I have to get some more of the festival vibe in before we wrap up the show, because, I am just on a high with these nice tunes that they have over there. So good evening, everyone. And again, we're going to now get into some music to wrap up the show. But the festival look like it a good nice this year, man. We're going to rally back and do all kinds of stuff. So stay with me. Good evening to you.
Me know you little bit of color, you know. Make the world know. We know that.
Oh, Lord.
We know that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Sister Pat, you see, maybe at the end of the chopping block this evening, but it's okay.
Oh.
Because my concern, when me called and I spoke to somebody in a little bit of authority the other day, I want to bring union to Jamaica for my hotel workers. Because, when I realized about Jamaica, the prayer come and big up all these big investors. 9% of what they come and invest is not for the little man in the street. They must make for the country a destination for the wealthy, which is fine and good. And in me like, when come and talk about the people, them a go, this and all the people, them a go, me want the prayer to match the American salary. You have to be exact. Because of the same money, they must charge the foreigner, they must charge the same court. And until me can see my people, they make little something, me now go rest. Me I go try my best. That's one of my biggest thing me want to work on, to get union down there, so the people can afford decent living. You see, all these high influential buildings that go up on left, right, and center, and the little man on the street will never live over there, so. You see, the high rise and the luxury apartments, the little people will never be able to afford it one night there. But they don't go to work there. But they charge arm and a leg and they want to pay dimes and nickel. But me say what happened already now, history normally repeats itself. If anybody remember when all of them did have to run one time, they may have to run again. All of them are moving and watch out. The Prime Minister, they're bringing them in and it's all good. But if they think they're going to have this country like Haiti where everybody come in, come drain the resources and then they think so they go just get away with it. The people will be stupid to make this happen. They need to pay the people up to the up to the American wages and benefits to the people. The Prime Minister needs to start talking like that because a US dollar people they pay. Every quote in a US dollar.
Yes, sir. I hear you.
But the rates are connected to here. But you see, prior changes things, but most of them may have to get up and run unless they high rise there. It happened before.
Well, hey.
So that's my 2 cents.
Okay, so you're concerned about the level of investment, the people that are receiving the benefits out of it, which would be the wealthy when they come in to invest, and the people who will benefit from it. And you're saying it's not on an even keel because it's not opened to everybody, only the few. Is that what am I understanding?
But on that, and then the wages to which you want to pay these people, because they're doing the same work like me. And my hotel work is way harder in Jamaica. Way harder. Way harder. Because the people down in no AC, everything is out the door. And
hold on, Brian. When you say the people them out the door and not in any AC, what does that mean?
Simply means hotel in the Caribbean. Most of the work is outside for the laborers.
Okay.
For instance, in a hotel environment, the only person that's exposed to AC is housekeepers. My job in Jamaica that I do here in America would be outside. And for instance, if I'm making $35 here, at least, good gracious me, pay them $20 an hour. And we need them to start balancing with the US and stop with the Jamaican minimum wage dollar business. Because that now do nothing to the people then. Nothing that now do. Because the price of what me hear people have to pay at supermarket, most of them can't have a decent meal. After the GCT, so what the government actually do right on the backs of the poor people. You bring these investors in, you give them tax break for 10 years because commercial debts run 10 years. So me who have little 2 cents in my head park. So you give them 10 years to run a debt. You see my company take the 10 years, run the debt 10 years and get up and pack up after the 10 years. So they go and you mill as much money as you can mill. And then they pack up and leave after 10 years and somebody come over and take over that building, run it for another 10 years, pack up and leave, and another one come and take over the building, run another 10 years and pack up and leave. That needs to stop. Mr. Prime Minister, everybody not stupid enough. That needs to stop. You need to match the people and benefit the people. They need to have they need to have like 401k, something. The people need to have something. Because in America, when them same investor have them property, they have to give all of that and more. But when they go down to the Caribbean, they give nothing more than a little wages. I mean, so they fire them as they quit, then I have no tax. How can you come into my domain, set up shop, and me not have no rights? So me have to get somebody to contact the prayer to ask, what is the rights of the people? You invite all your big friends to come in here. Give them break because it'll look good for you. But there's nothing that starts my people then. Because them same one come in there, anger them bad, they fire them and hire them because the multitude of people want a job in Jamaica, of course. When you come with them a little 2 cents and the jingle in front of their eye and 14 them, then have a choice, then take your job. But so often you just think you can just fire who you want and hire who you want and nothing. But in this side of the world, it can't work here, so. All of them look at something they might queen. Me have to try somebody. Because all of that needs to stop.
Thank you, sir.
We hear you. You look well good up.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Blessings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up the show. I must apologize. Mr. Chris will not be joining us this evening. And so, you're going to just have to enjoy the next program coming up. But thanks to all who tuned in this evening for Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And we're hoping that you were connected, you felt connected, and you felt appreciated. So I'm going to wrap up with this selection as we close out the show. And just to say, have yourselves a great weekend, everybody, because you know me. Me I go tell you if you come, go on up, galang up, go down, go round. So go up, so go on in. Oh, Lord. And thanks to Julia and to Chris, and thanks to DJ Linkage for this station, Linkage Radio. So have yourselves an awesome weekend this weekend, and we hope that, hey, you will just say, you know what? Me a con go on round too. So blessings, everybody. Peace, peace, peace.
we believe. Reggae music, track and feel, we always have the victory. What a rich history, oh the sweet memories. Happy boss a skanker when we listen to the melodies. A vibrant country, top of the world, can't you see? Now fall down like the leaves. Jamaica, we free, firm and strong. Unity, my island of beauty. Sweet J.
So we're out, everybody. So wherever you are tuning in, we want to say thank you for being here. We couldn't do this without you. So, though we can't do it without you, we know that we have to have you with us at all times. So blessings.
Minister Patrick Tyson and Brother Claver Schrouter, in collaboration with Sister Lemuel Hunt, presents A Taste of Heaven on Earth Part 2 on Saturday, September 13th, 2025, to be held at the Bronxwood International Church of God, located at 3232 Lurton Avenue in the Bronx. Featuring Minister Judith Gale, Minister O'Shane Mays from out of Jamaica, Minister Claver Schrouter, Minister Dwight Schrouter, Brother Tajay Nichols, a.k.a. Singer Wayne, and Sister Shakira. Tickets adults $40, children $25. Doors open at 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. sharp. Your MCs for the evening will be yours truly, Minister Patrick Tyson and Lady D. A part of the proceeds from this event will go to Bronxwood International Church of God Carpet Project. This event is sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant. For tickets and more information, you can contact Minister Tyson at 347-961-6785 or Minister Claver Schrouter at 914-336-0623.